Hey everybody, welcome back in to the Molasses Report. How we doing this week? We good? Hope so. Keeping kind of on topic with last week's episode, nobody tells you that becoming qualified for your own life can become its own full-time job. I mean, think about this for a second here. You graduate high school or college, then you're told to get a job, you have to get experience. So then you go get experience, but then you're told, oh, you need leadership. So then you become a team lead. Then someone says, oh no, you need certifications. And oh no, you don't know the right people. And you need a personal brand now. And you need to know how to use AI in both your work life, personal life, and side hustle. And then you need a portfolio to prove all of this. And then you need to get another promotion. And at some point, you start asking yourself, what do I actually want? Like, what else do I need before I'm allowed to start living? Because somewhere along the way, we stopped building lives and we started building resumes. Note here that I don't think any generation is lazy. I just think we're exhausted because it just feels that every time we reach a milestone, someone quietly moves the end goal. Get a degree. Okay, cool. Now go get experience. Cool. Now become a manager. Okay. Now own your own business. Now build passive income. Okay. Now retire by 40. And once you've done all of that, someone online has another list of 10 things you're behind on. It's exhausting because there really isn't a clear finish line anymore. It's just another level. Get here to get here, get another certification, get another promotion, get another benchmark. We've become so focused on becoming qualified that we forgot to ask, qualified for what? I think a lot of people are accidentally living like they're in a first draft. I'll travel when, I'll date when, I'll move when, I'll start the podcast when, I'll finally be happy when. Everything has prerequisites, everything is delayed. I mean, imagine reading a novel where every chapter is simply the author explaining why chapter one hasn't started yet. Eventually, you're going to put the book down because the story never actually begins. It's an endless list of preparations for a life we're convinced starts later. Not today, not this month, definitely not while we're renting a tiny apartment or driving an old car. It's always later. Self improvement can become procrastination. Learning isn't the same as acting. Planning isn't progress. Buying running shoes isn't running. Watching travel videos isn't traveling. Listening to business podcasts isn't building a business. Sometimes we convince ourselves we're making progress because we're prepping. Prepping feels productive, it's safe, but actually starting is terrifying because once you begin, people can judge you. You can discover that you aren't naturally good at the thing you dreamed about. Preparation protects us from disappointment, but action is a huge risk of it. I mean, open Instagram, LinkedIn, TikTok. It feels like everybody else has already arrived at their life. Someone's bought a house, someone got engaged, someone started a company, someone's traveling Europe, someone's running a marathon. What you don't see, though, are the doubts, the loans, the failed interviews, the nights they wondered if they were wasting their 20s. Everyone posts the completed art, but nobody posts the thousand scattered puzzle pieces. Because when we compare our behind the scenes to someone else's highlight reel, we're convinced we're falling behind. But maybe we aren't behind at all. Maybe we're just watching edited lives while trying to live a real one. What if this isn't the waiting room? What if this is life? Not the warm up, not the trailer. It's just the random Tuesday, the grocery run after work, the coffee before sunrise, the workout that nobody applauds, the apartment that feels too small, and that paycheck that isn't enough but still pays the bills. These are not interruptions, they're chapters, because someday these ordinary moments may become the ones you miss the most. A compliment that we give people all the time is they're so responsible. But what this really means is they never take risks. They don't quit. They don't move. They don't change careers. They don't chase impossible dreams. They don't make decisions that other people might question. Because somewhere along the way, responsibility became confused with permanence. But maybe being responsible isn't about protecting your resume, it's about protecting curiosity. Because if every decision you make is the safe one, you might eventually build a life that's admired by everybody else and quietly resented by you. The responsible choice is actually choosing a life you'll be excited to wake up to. We all started at roughly the same place. I mean, we all had the same graduation, we were the same age, same expectations. Then life scattered us. You have one friend who got married, another decided to go back to school, someone's buying a house, someone's moved across the country, someone's become a parent. Somehow, we convince ourselves that these are all checkpoints in the same race because they're not. Life isn't synchronized. There isn't a universal schedule. No one is grading you on whether you bought a house or you found your dream job. The pressure comes because we mistake visibility for importance. The milestones everyone can see aren't the ones that matter most. Confidence isn't visible. Healing isn't visible. Learning patience isn't visible. Finding peace isn't visible. Some of the biggest victories in life never get posted. Maybe you've spent so much time trying to become the perfect candidate that you've forgotten life isn't just interviewing you. You're interviewing life too. Not every opportunity deserves a yes. Not every promotion is worth sacrificing your weekends. Not every salary increase is worth your peace. Not every dream you had at 20 still deserves to be your dream at 28. People evolve. Goals evolve. Your definition of success evolves. That's not giving up. That's growing up. The goal isn't becoming qualified for every opportunity. It's becoming wise enough to recognize which opportunities are worth taking. Success isn't collecting the most impressive resume. It's building a life that still feels like yours when nobody is watching. We almost never realize we're living the days we'll eventually miss. No one wakes up and says, I'm going to miss sitting in traffic on my way to work. Nobody thinks, one day I'm going to miss this tiny studio apartment, or I'm going to really miss these Saturday grocery runs. But somehow, years later, those are the memories that stick. Not because they were extraordinary, but because they were yours. We spend so much of our lives waiting for the highlight reel, the promotion, the engagement, the dream vacation. But if you ask someone who's 80 what they remember, they probably won't start with the biggest moments. They'll remember making pancakes with their kids, walking their dog before sunrise, coffee with a friend who isn't around anymore, laughing with their best friends until midnight. Life doesn't become meaningful because of 10 incredible days. It becomes meaningful because of 10,000 ordinary ones. We're not nostalgic for perfection. We're nostalgic for presence. And that irony here is the life we'll someday miss is the one happening right now. And with that, as much as I love movies, movies have ruined our expectations. Because think about it. In every movie, there's the montage. The music starts. The main character trains. They get stronger. They get promoted. They fall in love. Everything changes in 3 minutes. Real life doesn't have montages. Real life has Mondays. Real life has laundry. Real life has alarm clocks that go off way too early. Life is answering emails, going to the gym when you really don't feel like it. It's calling your parents, making a meal, cleaning your apartment, then doing it all again tomorrow. The life you're dreaming about isn't built during one dramatic breakthrough. It's built inside incredibly ordinary days. It's one workout, one conversation, one decision to keep going, again and again and again. Success isn't explosive. It's repetitive and very, very mundane until one day someone calls you lucky. And they never saw the thousands of ordinary days that built the extraordinary one. Life doesn't begin when everything is perfect. It begins the moment you stop treating your current life like a placeholder. You'll never feel completely ready. You'll never know everything. You'll never have enough money. You'll never eliminate every uncertainty. The people we admire don't wait until they feel qualified. They start it anyway. Life doesn't reward perfect prep, it rewards participation. One day you'll wake up and realize the life you kept waiting to begin has been happening the whole time. This has been the Molasses Report. If today's episode reminded you of someone who's always saying, I'll do it someday, I'll do it Tuesday, I'll do it next week, maybe send this episode to them. And maybe, just maybe, before this week is over, do one thing that you've been neglecting. Apply for the job. Start the project. Sign up for the class. Make the call. Because your life isn't waiting to begin. It's waiting for you to notice you're already living it. I'll see you all next week.